Hello everybody. Today we are going to look into how to create alerts or notifications inside your SuiteCRM system from a workflow. Okay, so let's go. So you might have seen already, noticed, or you might have been working already with the notifications here. So there top right, there's a small icon. It's like a special module inside your SuiteCRM system, and it triggers notification, or there are notifications inside this module. So, and if you're using, let's say, for instance, calls or meetings or something, then this can be used here. If you have not seen this, let's give it a try. And additionally, you will be able to use this for all sorts of different triggers, actions, workflows, business logics inside your CRM system. So let's create a lead and see what happens. So here we call the lead, I don't know, first or for, last or for, and I would just press Control Enter to create this lead. So, and now usually it just takes a couple of seconds. I can trigger this as well manually by pressing F5. And then my notifications will be loaded. And now you can see this. You have one new notification. This will fade away. And here the notification stays that I've got a lead. Now I can click on the lead as well. So when does this make sense? One very simple case, there will be leads generated via the web form or via like anything, and maybe you've got postal codes, and depending on the postal code you have a different assignment rules, or based on who is currently available in sales receives the new lead. And then if this person receives a new lead, of course you can send out an email, but or additionally, and you can trigger this bespoken of notification here. So let's look into how that works. What I've got for this prepared is one workflow, and basically it's not too complicated, but it's a bit confusing. I'll show you in a bit why. So the header here is just like any other workflow as well. So you would give it a name, then you would do this on leads. So if you want to do this for contacts, for opportunities, for anything else, then of course you can select a different one. Do this only on save, because in the scheduler it will run like every minute in the background, so we don't want to have this. Repeated runs depends a little bit on your case, so you don't have to do this if you're doing run on new records only, because then if it's for new records only, then you don't have repeated runs in the first place, because one record can only be new one time. But it would be possible as well to have it on modified records. Maybe you have something like invoices, and every time an invoice has been modified, you want to trigger a notification. So that depends on your case. Run on import. No, if you're doing an import, you basically let everybody know there's a huge import coming, not that I've got 500 of those notifications. So conditions are important as well. Here I don't have any conditions because I want to trigger this for every single lead that I receive. In case you want to trigger this for leads that went through a lead scoring before, and only the higher score leads, they should receive this alert, and then you would add the notification or like a condition if the lead score is above blah blah blah. So what do we need? The first action that we need is, we actually don't need this, but it helps a lot, is to calculate the URL that we have to click on, because you've seen when I saw the notification, the last name is linked, and the last name is linked to the record itself. So now the link first, and what I need to do for this one is I need to have an action with calculate fields, and I'm adding as the first parameter the ID, the raw ID of the lead itself. I don't need anything else anymore. And additionally, you need to know the record URL. So the ID is fine, and the ID is the parameter here, and then that's still from the legacy. From the legacy, the URL. So here you would just need to build it up in this way index.php, that's the script where everything is being executed. Then we've got the entry point module equals, and now you need to make it equal your module, could be contacts, could be leads or whatever, invoices. And then you've got one action. For the action, you want to have the detail view. And then, very simple, record, and then here we would just add the record ID. So you have to build this up according to your needs and requirements. The next action that we need is create a record. And now we can add a couple of fields. So the record needs to be alerts, which is this very specific module, which is not in the navigation here because it's just being used for this alerts or notification feature. Now assigned to value, and now I did this with a concrete example here, but you can make this a field and then just have this one assigned to. So if you have multiple salespeople working on different leads and then they assigned to according to the postal code or the product range or something, and then you would just assign this to the assigned to person from the lead itself. Description. And then here you can keep it open or empty. Name field. So I want to have the name field, which is last name. And then is red. This is important because it should be empty or unchecked. Once you say like dismiss this notification, and then this will be red and it won't be shown anymore. So confusing because of this one here, type, and type. In the worst case, you have to play around with this a little bit, but the order of those is according to this. So type is leads. And then the next type is info. And then we've got yet another type, which is the description. And the description, we just put this one there. So yeah, I think this is internally some issues with the drop down or with the field namings of this module, so it's a bit odd. It looks different if you develop this over the API, but here you will have those drop downs which are a bit odd. So these fields are basically all that you need, and yeah, the description has been calculated in advance, and the rest is according to your module. So if you trigger this one now, as you have seen before, so this time we turn it around. We first hit the demo and then we looked into this one. So you see that the notifications will be showing up here. And now you can click on the lead. See here we've got lead and notified and last name. Okay, and now I can basically click on dismiss all and I won't see this anymore. Yes. And then I won't see this anymore. So this is how you can add alerts into your CRM system. And you can basically do this for anything that you can imagine to build a workflow up on. Be a bit careful, not that you annoy your team members too much by sending a lot of notifications, but if something is a bit time critical and high quality or something, then you totally can do this and create a notification for your team members. That's all for this video. Thank you very much for watching. See you next time. Bye.